all aboard the Suzy Q for a new exciting adventure.
Hi, Beth Crenshaw here. I am joined by Captain Russell of the Suzy Q. And today, Russ, we are headed off on one of the newer trips that the Suzy Q has to offer. We're headed out to Jaspers ice cream shop, right?
Jaspers Bait Shack. Floating bait shack.
Sounds awesome.
That serves ice cream.
That serves ice cream. It is a really unique destination, though, Jaspers is.
Yes, it is. It's a floating bait shack decorated with a bunch of mannequins, and it's very unique floating out there in the middle of the water. It looks strange.
It does, but it's a cool destination for us. And this summer we're doing some shorter trips, so it's just a 2-hour trip for maybe some residents that don't want to be outside in the summer heat quite as long as our lunch trips. But so just a shorter trip, 2 hours, a little nature tour thrown in there, correct?
That's correct, and it's a great trip for people that don't want to spend 4 hours out on the water. It's a nice brief trip, and they get out on the water and get to see something different.
Perfect. The first one of these trips that's available coming up next is on May 30th. That's a Tuesday, so people can sign up at the greeter's desk. And the greeter's desk hours now are from 9 o'clock till noon. And the number for that is 454-2136. And in just a little while, we're going to have DeBaun. She is the head of the Suzy Q narrators. She's going to tell us a little bit more about Jaspers and why it's so special.
Sounds good. She'll give us a little update on where Jaspers came from and the history on it. So.
All right.
Good.
All right, so let's take off.
Prior to departure, passengers aboard the Suzy Q receive important safety instructions from the first mate.
There's 2 things you want to remember, though. When you jump overboard, make sure you're holding on to it so it doesn't go over your head. And make sure your feet are up so you don't get stuck in the mud when you do step overboard.
This is our narrator seat on the Suzy Q. We have DeBaun, and Alice is the head of the Suzy Q narrators. She does a great job of leading and has a lot of information to share. And today, Alice, if you could just share with us a little bit about where we're headed today, to Jaspers Floating Bait Shop. There is some history to this place, and if you could put your narrator hat on and tell us a little bit about that, we would appreciate it.
If you remember, well, you're too young to remember, the TV show Thunder in Paradise that had Hulk Hogan in it, Hulk Hogan, the wrestler with the long blonde hair. Jaspers Bait House was his house in that TV program, a ramshackle old place. And after the TV program didn't last very long. After that, it was used by some people who were teaching people to fish. It was used for a variety of things. And then the people who now have it, they bought this ramshackle old place off eBay, I believe, and it was up in St. Petersburg, so they got Towboat US to bring it down. Well, when you see it, you'll see it's not very navigable, so that was quite a project. They got it down here, switched it out for the boat that they use, and the permit is still valid. So we now have a floating bait shop. There's also a parrot that lives in it. It's open 24/7, and when we get there, and you'll see it, it has advertised all over it, all the various amenities that are available, and it has an incredible crew. Take special note of the crew that is outside. This renovation, so to speak, was done in November of this past year, and we go there to get ice cream. It's usually in conjunction with a nature trip. We look for the birds and other things like that. The ice cream's good.
Thank you so much, Alice, for that information. I look forward to seeing it. Well, we made it. Now, if you're looking for something fancy, this isn't the trip for you, but if you're looking for a fun adventure, this is the place to come. So we're gonna go inside, get some treats, and we'll come back and see you when we get out. If you're interested in seeing what the inside of this building looks like, you can call the greeter's desk to schedule a trip on the nature tour to Jaspers. Russell, that place was really cool, and look at all the things that I found. The ice cream was tasty, and I did a little shopping and got a new dress and some jewelry and some
Well, I'm
stuff.
glad you enjoyed it.
It was fun, and I've got something to take home and put on my car. That was really cool.
Very good. I'm glad everybody enjoyed it.
It was fun. Come on out and join us.